Okay, so here's the deal. Every type views the world through the lens of their top 2 functions, but we all use all 8 of the functions. So, what that means is that ENFJs really understand people a lot more than they understand definitions, because we live in the world of people through extroverted feeling. And so what happens is that a lot of ENFJs will really attach to and understand Myers-Briggs, socionics, or another system really quickly, because they'll just instantly be able to remind them of people they know. And so it's easy to go off of stereotypes when you first learn it. And ENFJ they'll understand the types of people. They already sort of had groupings in their head about how people are different. And so it'll be easy for them to sort of go off of stereotypes. But if you are really interested in Myers-Briggs or socionics, then you can read the functions that make up the types. And then you'll start to see the functions literally everywhere you go. That's how it worked for me. I use introverted intuition, and so I ponder what it means, and then I just start seeing it out in the open, like a function. It's like I'm not doing SINTE of, oh, I remembered that this was the definition. No, I'm looking out there and I'm seeing a function in action. That's how I experience it. And I believe that STPs may experience it similarly. But for me, I experience it to where I spend time reading about the functions to where I know them, and then I spot them. It's the same as with philosophy, and it's the same as with, like, oh, I've read a lot of books about vulnerability, and so I know vulnerability when I see it. It's an aspect of human cognition that when you read about it, in my NI and my TI, I'll know what it is, and then I'll interact with it and I'll see it. And so for me, I'm open to being wrong, but the thing is that we all use all 8 functions. So it is very possible that I could be confused because I'm looking at someone and I'm like, oh, you just used TE. But anyone could use TE. It's just one way of processing. Like, your 16 types is not the end-all be-all. Like, the 16 types is just an easy way to categorize people based on their preferred action. So if I only see a little taste of someone, then maybe I saw them under stress. Maybe I don't know the real them. That's completely fine. But I could see in my mind they use these functions. Oh, I saw in that instance they use this function. It's going to be really hard to pull out because after the interaction is over, I might not recall what they said. That's what happens with, I have SI, point of least resistance. I have really bad SI. So the way I experience it is that over time, I become very, very sure about someone's type, or about my own type, or about what functions are. But at first, if I just see a sliver of the person, then I'm not sure. And that's always open for debate. But here's the thing that really bugs me about forums and everything, is that there's a bunch of people that don't go out and interact with people. And so they just know these types. Their experience, your knowledge is only in a bubble. In order to really fully experience what FE is, you have to use FE, and you have to see someone else use FE. You have to live it. This is not just a theory. I know that Myers-Briggs lovers and socionics lovers alike know that this is more than just a theory. This is very deep to them. This is very real. At times I feel like I'm discovering a pattern of the universe similar to how people discovered math. It's like a pattern of human psyche and a pattern of personhood and personality. But it is more than that. It is more than a definition. It is more than what you read in the books. You have to experience the other person. Because everyone is different. And we always seem to forget that. Like, on these forums, everyone is just trying to be smarter than one another without recognizing that everyone is different. Just because someone is way different than anyone you've ever seen or doesn't fit the category, like, yeah, all of the greats have been hard to type. If you are extremely unhealthy, you're going to be hard to type because you're an outlier. And if you are really healthy, you're going to be hard to type too. Because if you're a healthy person, you'll learn that you can't live in a world and just be like, I'm a feeler, I don't do any thinky stuff. No, you have to do both. You have to balance yourself, you have to maximize your skills, and the more you maximize your skills, everything will fall into place for you, I promise. The thing is that I want to have conversation with people. And for all these people that are on the forums all day, every day, and don't talk to real life people, you may think you know the functions a lot more than I do, but I'm interacting with them on a day-to-day basis with real people. And I'm not just thinking about it. I'm living it. And so just as in the real world, you have to treat people with respect. And in the real world, you have to listen and do all these things. You aren't going to get results if you aren't doing that in your in a forum. If you are not treating people with respect, and if you are not listening, and if you are not welcoming people with open arms, you're not going to understand what the fuck they're talking about. Because why would someone feel comfortable talking to you if you're antagonizing them? So I guess my main point is, okay, if anyone ever saw DJ R&D's videos, I think he might have deleted a lot of them. He was an ESTP. We share the same functions. And although we're different, and I've seen that he is very combative in some ways, maybe I am too, but he would always be like, look, this is what they're doing. He would point and say, like, look at this person's eyes. You could totally see they're a EIE or something. People would be like, that's not what the theory says, blah, 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 blah. Well, he had a lot of followers because he was right. You know, like, there is something completely different that you get from experiencing the functions than what you get about reading them. And it seems that, especially since intuitives are more interested in Myers-Briggs, and that more intuitives are extroverted intuitives, that's all there is. N-E-N-E all day long. It's all in your heads. And that's great. Like, you guys really understand a lot. And I'm not saying that you don't. But we need to understand. And also, it's like ENJs are completely outnumbered. Completely. There's INJs on the internet that if they ever disagree, they're afraid to say they disagree or they don't want to cause waves because they don't see the point. They understand that there is a difference between what your NE sees of the functions and actually living the functions, and that people are different than what a definition says. But that doesn't mean that this theory is inaccurate. It just means that people are different, and when you're acting something out, it's way different. It's like, I can't even think of a metaphor right now. The point is that the way I've learned the functions is through experiencing them through people. That doesn't mean I haven't read about them. I have. Like, I was really lonely for 2 years, and I was sort of unhealthily, was in my room a lot of the time. I was in a negative relationship for a whole year where the only time I felt understood was on the Myers-Briggs forum or on the socionics forum talking to people. And if you are there right now, I am completely with you, and I will be there for you. Because it's very real to feel like, I'm thinking about all these things and I don't have anyone that I could talk to this about. Well, see, one of my best friend for the past 2 years, we went to college together. We would talk about Myers-Briggs all day long, and it sort of transcended all the crap you read on the internet. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it transcended to the fact that we would be basing it off of people. We would be looking at interactions and wondering, okay, how do they use their functions in this way? And it'd be like, this person is an INTJ. They tested that way. They've always acted that way. Then how come they acted this way? How come it seemed like they used FE almost? And then we would have theories about what that meant, about the point of least resistance. Like, do we ever use that function? So I know that I'm coming at it from a different perspective, potentially. I don't know. Like, I always like to say, everyone's unique, which means that nobody is unique. So everyone is unique, but that means that who cares? Like, I know that this is probably not like a super novel thing. Point is that each function is a type of intelligence, and it's a type of cognition, and we all use them, and we're all skilled in a different order of them. Like, FE is going to view the world completely different than TE. No matter how similar your values are, you're just going, it's like a different switch in your brain. And so if you really want to learn, if you really want to be a very versatile person, you're going to have to understand all of them. So don't shut them out if you don't like them or if they rub you the wrong way. Seek to understand why they rub you the wrong way. Have a conversation with someone. Don't just assume that you've already got them figured out and put them away. Why don't you be curious and try and figure out someone?